Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
You guys, this is not a freaking drill. You are hearing us from our podcast studio, and we're not pranking you if you're listening to this on Thursday.
Yeah, this time we're not pranking you guys, but we're in the new studio here at the Vibin headquarters. So now it's officially Vibin headquarters / Spill the Beans studio. And to be honest with you, I'll let Blanca go into the detail because she was the interior designer or /. But yeah, it's not finished, obviously.
Oh my gosh. So if you're listening to this on Thursday, just wait until Friday so you can see what it looks like. And so basically we wanted to go, and we told you guys, we're going to make it seem like we are still at our house, and it's still like you guys are just catching up with us on our couch vibes. We wanted to be very cozy, very just the same vibe as we had at our house. And I think we went for it, huh, babe?
Yeah.
It looks so cozy. As soon as I walk into the office, I'm like, this is the perfect thing. Like when I walked in, I think yesterday, because Jonathan had been working on it all weekend, I walked in and I was like, oh my God, babe, you literally went off. And by went off, he chose the paint color. He painted. He built everything by him. You had no one help you, huh?
No one.
Nope, you did it all by yourself. And on Monday I walked in, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So basically, with the help of G's Elite Designs, we came up with this, guys. I ordered these couches back in like February, I think.
Yeah, a long time
And
ago.
they got here probably, I think right after she was born or before.
A little bit after.
Yeah, they got here after she was born. So you guys know we were in the newborn trenches. You know, we could not really do anything. So we just brought them out, and I was a little bit nervous because everything that you see online is kind of scary. You don't know if it's going to turn out cute, but they're so comfy, huh, babe?
They're actually comfy, guys. I told her yesterday, they're the perfect mix between like lounging and still being able to sit up straight, like for a podcast, because you also don't want to be like sunken in because then you look funny. But yeah, perfect choice on the couches, babe. We got this little table here in the middle to put our drinks. It opens up. We can put storage inside. And we got Mr. Cupid here. Mr. Cupid still has
The price
tag, $69.99.
Oh.
I already broke it once, guys, on the way home from Home Goods. But anyways, we're not done because he's right now in the middle, but he will go like behind me on my side eventually after I build the other table. Kind of like, because we always give relationship. Oh, Blanca's like, babe, where are you going to get that? And I was like, babe, we always give relationship advice. Cupid, you know, he makes people fall in love. So I was like, I think that's a nice play on words, if that's what you call
it. Good metaphor.
But right now he's in the middle, but he'll eventually, I kind of want to have like her side and then like
yeah, so basically the way that Gabby sketched this up for me was with this olive tree. Honestly, G's Elite Designs 10 out of 10 recommend, because all she did was send the links and all I had to do was add to cart and purchase. I didn't have to look for anything. So the tree was added by her, and I feel like this gives it life, like it gives the podcast life. And on my side, it might probably just stay like this. I'm not really sure if we're gonna change it or add anything else, but the reason we're saying that it's not done is because we still need the middle like eye catcher, the aha, you know. So
yeah,
we still have to hang those up, and actually we still have to go buy those.
And then yesterday I brought some light fixtures, según yo, in the box, right, that I was gonna hang up or put. I open it up, and it's some freaking water and food bowl that Blanca had ordered for the dogs. But it looked exactly like the box I put in the garage, right? So
except the box that you put in the garage literally says that it's carrying light fixtures.
Well, I never read it. I just saw like the same rectangle box. I was like, oh, and then weighted the same, everything.
Well, yeah, guys, honestly, we're just so happy to like finally have this. We've been talking about it for so long, and the fact that we're like here already is insane.
Yeah.
And we're very happy. I'm super happy with how it turned out. The paint color, Jonathan's like, babe, I think this is the winner. I'm like, okay, like go ahead. And when I walked in, I was like, oh my God, you picked the perfect paint color. It's
yeah,
perfect.
It was nice because obviously it's common sense, but to me it was like, oh my God, I'm Albert Einstein. I grabbed the color and I put it next to a super white bucket of paint. And I was like, oh, this kind of contrasts really good because the couches are white, you know? So then boom. That's how I got that color.
Yeah, so we just wanted to be cozy vibes, and here we are, guys, finally in the podcast studio. This hobby turned into like a real thing. thing. Yeah.
But if you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes, me struggling and putting all the couches and taking them apart and being like a dad with Franco and him helping me, he was my little helper for the day. Go check out J&J Vlogs. That's kind of the behind the scenes. And then we have another part 2. And then you also vlogged some of it, right? The actual like designing.
Yeah, I think I vlogged a little bit of it, but most of the content is going to go on Instagram.
But now enough of that. We're here with Miss Princess again.
Yeah, guys, we have our third co-host. She is knocked out. I think we finally got a good routine down. We know her like wake windows and stuff, so I timed it perfectly where we didn't even put her in the car sleeping. Like she was still going on her full wake window, and she fell asleep I think halfway here, huh? And she's just been a perfect
She gets
princess.
a third of the pay cut, but she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
okay.
sits here and looks
Guys,
pretty.
she's so freaking chunky. Like, please, if
She's
you're
a
watching this on
chunk.
Thursday, go on Friday and check her out because she is a chunker. Like, the doctor was like, she's chunky. She's like, the doctor kept saying that she's like a 4-month-old.
Yeah.
Her weight, her length, her
The way she
cognitive
moves.
abilities. Yeah, the way she kicks. And it's crazy. Because I noticed it when I would like, when dads somos enfadosos y le hacemos cariños a los niños, she would kick me and like kind of like swat me away. And I was like, oh, it's accidental. It's just, but no, like the doctor noticed that right away when she was like checking her heartbeat and all that. She was like, wow, like she is like kicking me away, which was crazy.
Yeah, we just had her 2-month appointment. She did get her shots, which was very, very sad. We'd never hear her cry because she's just not a crier. She grunts, and like when she's hungry and stuff, you can tell because she starts grunting and kind of whining, but like full on crying like a baby, we haven't heard it probably since she was born. And so we both cried when she got her shots. It was so sad.
It was crazy seeing you so emotional because you say that you cried for Franco's shots, but I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Oh, also because I didn't go in, huh?
I don't think you did. Yeah.
No, the second time your mom went in, right? I went to the appointment, but I didn't go into the room because I couldn't. Like, I hate seeing babies cry.
Yeah.
But with Belen, I was there, and that one didn't affect me as bad as I thought I would.
It affected me more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Because she was, oh my God, she was just crying and it was so sad. But you could tell that it freaking hurt her. And also, I think I was down bad because I had just gotten my shots too. And just like me feeling it, I'm like, I'm a grown ass adult and it hurt me. So imagine a tiny baby that has never felt pain. But yeah, guys, so she had her 2-month appointment. It is what? Oh yeah, it's right after Mother's Day. We are so sorry. I kind of feel bad because people kept asking us to do a Mother's Day episode with our moms.
Oh,
and although that is coming, we are sorry that it didn't come for Mother's Day. It's a little bit sad vibes, but that's still going to come. We're still going to throw in a little mom episode for you guys.
Yeah, guys, I feel like a lot of you might be asking yourself, like, there's no way you're busy 24/7. And although that's like correct, there is some, but it's like the days where we film, it's just hectic as heck, if that makes sense. Like we film Mondays or Tuesdays, and those days are just slammed,
Yeah.
And then Blanca's like, babe, I think we just need to switch filming days to Fridays because Fridays are pretty,
Calm.
more calmer than usual. So, but then I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, honestly, I was even talking about this to my vlog yesterday. If you probably watched it if you follow me, but I was saying how I've been feeling so overwhelmed because I feel like there's not enough hours in the day. Like by the time we want to do something, we're like, oh shit, it's Franco's nap time, or oh she just woke up, oh she just pooped, like we have to change her, So I've been getting really overwhelmed. Although I don't show it, I feel like I'm really good at keeping myself calm on the outside. Like I don't show people when I'm stressing. But I have been feeling very overwhelmed. I'm like, dude, we do not have enough hours in the day. And then I think the biggest thing is the commute from our house to here.
Yeah.
It's so far, or just the commute from our house literally anywhere is so much. So I think that has been stressing me out a lot. So like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are not that busy. But it's like, we kind of are in the sense that we also prioritize our kids' sleep schedule. And we always like to be the ones to like put them to sleep, so it's either you or me putting Franco down for a nap if we can, and we just try to be as present as we can when we're at the house. So then that goes by and we're like, oh my God, it's already 3 p.m, like we can't do anything.
I feel like we could easily leave Franco with your mom all day and
like
work,
leave in the morning.
work. But there'll be times where like I was supposed to work all morning and I'll come home and Blanca's like, why didn't you stay at the office? Or I was like, because I miss my son. Like I'd rather navegar con él and just like be with him. Like right now, he wanted me to put him down for a nap, and it like hurt. Like it like still breaks us down almost 3 years later. You know, like him wanting to like we're still very much involved. You know, like I feel like in movies you see like these like, oh, the mom's a lawyer and the dad's a doctor and the kids with the babysitter all day. You know, and they get so much work done, but it's like we also know that we're never gonna have this time back ever. And especially since I told Blanca the other day, I was like, babe, I heard that like a newborn is only 28 days.
Yeah.
And then a baby is only 2 and under. I was like, Franco is gonna, like right now he's so far advanced that he's having full conversations with adults now. So it's like, babe, when he turns 3, like that's it. Like
we're
there
done.
goes our baby. And then Miss over here, she's already out of the 28 days. So baby, we only got like, you know, a year and some change. So it's like, and then she might be, right now it's looking our very last. So it's like work will always be work, guys. So if we can take advantage of our kids first, we will.
That's what I was thinking the other day, guys. We literally are broken records. We sound like broken records because we're always like, thank you so much because of you we're here and we get to work from home. But it's like when we think about it, this is such a privilege, you know, like being able to see all their milestones and be with them 24/7. Like if we wake up one day and they're sick, we don't have to go to work. Like we don't even have to open our phones because that is our job. We can just be there present, and like you can be with Franco and I can be with her. So it's like just take advantage of the moment that we're in right now. That's what I always like to say, because I mean when they're older and maybe I don't know, we have to go to a job, like this is our office, so we have to come here every day, you know, that's fine, but they're going to be in school, so it's not like we're not taking much away from them. So right now
school,
it's just
miss. We just had a whole podcast about homeschooling.
Okay, honestly, I didn't know we were gonna get that much positive feedback.
No, I thought you guys weren't gonna like that. Like, oh my god, homeschooling, because you hear it like, oh, it takes away. And then I didn't tell you, but Ian, our editor, actually when he sent over the video, he's like, if you know, he's like my advice, because he was homeschooled, and he turned out more than fine. He said that he really liked it because there's always like, you know, communities that kids gather and you still do everything you do in school. Yeah. So he said that he had a very good experience getting homeschooled. So yeah, I was thinking I really want to turn one of the rooms in our house into like a preschool room vibes, like where I can hang up all these posters. And I'm literally, guys, like one of the reasons I want to homeschool, well, the most important reason is because I want to be the one that teaches my kids, and I don't want them to like be with strangers. But second, because my dream when I was little was to be a teacher, and I would literally buy those pointers and I would sit there and like point at all my binders and pretend I was teaching all these kids. So I'm like, I could live my teacher dream without having to go to school and without being a teacher at school, you know? So yeah, I would really love to. Teachers don't get enough credit, man. That's a tough job.
Teacher appreciation week was last week too, and I texted I texted Karen. I was like, thank you for all you do, and I sent her a little money so she could get lunch or coffee on me. And she's like, oh my god, like thank you so much. And it's true, like I told her, I was like, thank you for all you do for our littles, you know, because teachers are so important. And
their work doesn't, like, I feel like you gotta go home and grade homework, you know, especially like high school teachers. I mean, they all got their ups and downs. Like middle school and elementary, you have to deal with like kids. That sucks, you know, like sometimes they poop their pants or something, they cry. But high schoolers, it's not so much with the students in the sense that you have to take care of them, but the homework, like you have to grade 30 essays about the same thing and check grammar, and like that is crazy. I saw a TikTok the other day of a elementary school teacher. She's like, me on my way to work, and she's all happy jamming. Me on my way home, and she's just like disassociating because it's freaking hard. Yeah, the patience you have to have. Yeah, but even like smack a kid. Exactly, or even like high schoolers. Like there's so many high schoolers that don't give a crap about school. So like imagine how hard that must be too. So or you're like so passionate about teaching something because they genuinely love it, like social studies. They genuinely love social, like history. So imagine just a kid like who cares? Yeah, and it's like your passion, you know? Yeah, that's really hard. So our love goes out to all the teachers. You guys do not go unnoticed. Like I literally did not become a teacher because that's too much. Like having my own kids, I'm like, I have, thank God, the patience to my kids, and all my patience is for Franco and for Belen. But I'm like, damn, for other kids or like stranger kids that you don't know what homes they're coming from, and like, you know, how they're brought up, how they're raised, their morals. It's really hard. So
Yeah, shout out to all the teachers. You guys are amazing, and I'm
Damn,
glad
babe,
that you had a
didn't
week.
tell me. Like, I didn't even know it was. I could have, done like a little vibe and shout out, little discount code,
yeah.
big discount code for
Well, it
all the
was on
teachers.
all social medias,
I didn't
babe.
see nothing.
Well, I guess it's because I follow a lot of moms, but like
Yeah.
everyone was going hard, like making these teacher thank you cards and like thank you baskets. It was so
No,
cute.
I didn't see nothing.
So for that, I'm like, oh, I wish that I thought about sending Franco to school, but if not, it's gonna be me. You're gonna have to get me a teacher appreciation gift.
Damn, baby, yeah, for real. I don't mind it.
Yeah, guys, but that was last week, and then Mother's Day was this weekend. Mother's weekend. It's so funny because we get two basically. Like,
Yeah,
got
I
my
was like, las mamás aquí en los Estados Unidos les va bien, to Mother's Day.
heck
Sheesh.
yeah! I got my flowers on Friday, and then I got taken to my favorite brunch spot, which was the Buff. And oh my god, I could have sworn, guys, that it wasn't gonna be packed, but it was graduation day for colleges,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was so packed. We had to wait for like 30 minutes, which wasn't that bad. And then on Sunday, I got my presents. Should we tell them, or should we just have them go watch the vlog? I think we should have them watch the vlog. No, will it be
Yeah.
out by now?
Which one?
The Mother's Day vlog?
I think not.
No, never
don't
mind.
think
Should we
so.
tell them?
Yeah, just tell them.
You guys, I feel so embarrassed. If you know me, you know that, first of all, I don't splurge on like designer items, but there's something about designer sunglasses. There's just something about them that I like, me llaman mucho la atención because they're so cuteness, right? So last year, I told Jonathan, I was like, babe, I really want Prada sunglasses. I really, really want them. And he got them for me for Mother's Day, which was so cute. You bought them in Vegas when you were out there with your friends. And unfortunately, Miss over here left them at our Airbnb in California when we went to Disney in October.
Yeah.
And I, as much as I tried to get them back, there was just no way. She probably still has them, so I could probably still try.
But what irks me is not that you lost them, is that you haven't. You say you've made I don't think you've made an effort to get
I
them.
have made
because
an
why couldn't you
effort.
just be like, hey, I'll Zelle you, Venmo you, Cash App you, and ship them out to me?
You think she will? I don't know.
See,
if she
you
will.
haven't even asked.
I know.
You
It's
haven't
'cause
even asked
my
to
idea-
get $500 glasses shipped.
My idea was to have someone pick them up for me.
No, see, like this is where you're like, oh yeah, like you just gave them up for loss. The Airbnb lady has them.
It's 'cause it's such an
you can easily
inconvenience
tip
for
her, be like,
them.
hey, not only will I pay the shipping, they're $500, so here's $100 to do the shipping for me because I know there's a lot of traffic or a long line at the post office.
Okay, I'll message him. So hopefully I can get my Pradas back. So they were my favorite sunglasses, obviously the only ones I owned. And then I lost them. So then this year, Jonathan was like, oh, babe, like he stresses so much for Mother's Day gifts. So he was like, just tell me what you want so I can get you something that you
I
really
stress
want.
for gifts in general.
And I was like, you know what, babe? It starts with sun and it ends with glasses, and I'm really sorry. I was trying to give him like the most obvious hints, and he's like, okay. So then I showed him the exact ones I wanted. If you guys follow Avery Woods on TikTok, she has some really cute Gucci sunglasses, and that's what I got for Mother's Day.
That's what she got.
I got
guys.
my Mother's Day sunglasses, and then I got a necklace that was so cute. So it's like a little moon, and then it has a heart, and it says "I love you," and then the moon says "To the moon and back."
And the heart says mom.
Yeah, and which one says "I love you"?
The moon.
No, the heart says "mom," and then on the back it says "I love you." Doesn't
Oh,
it?
really?
And then it says "To the moon and back." And yeah, so I got that, and it was amazing. So thank you for my Mother's Day gifts.
You're welcome,
Bunch.
honey. When's so Father's Day is the same, right?
I don't even know when Father's Day is.
But that's not like Mexican.
no, I
like,
think it's the same in. I don't even know.
I feel like last year I didn't have, like you didn't hear. Oh, ahora es el día de los padres y like you didn't like
Mexicano?
cayeron el mismo día, no?
I think that they are just the same day.
Yeah, right.
I think so. Dang, you
qué
don't get to.
conveniencia.
Okay, but you get your birthday and then Father's Day right next to it. So
Mm-hmm.
you get two big gifts.
Yeah.
So that's
I look
coming
forward.
up.
Honestly, guys, I love Father's Day way more than my birthday. Well, you guys know I don't like my birthday or birthdays in general.
Mm-hmm.
So Father's Day, though, however, feels good because I consider myself a good dad. So it's like a reward.
Well, it's like I feel like being a parent is the most rewarding and the hardest job. So when you get celebrated, you're like, hell yeah, like I'm doing this shit,
Yeah.
you know? Because being a dad is freaking hard, guys. But yeah, Father's Day is coming up. Not to mention Jonathan's turning 26.
Babe, shit. No, you know what's honestly been cool?
What?
This whole year, I sometimes I think I'm 26. So I always like to, like, because I have so much anxiety and overthink, to cope with that, I'm like, I like with things that I want to accomplish, I've been telling myself that I've been a year older.
Yeah.
So I never told you this, but this whole year I've thought I'm 26. So now that I'm going to turn 26,
You're like,
I'm
dang,
actually
I still
turning
have another
27.
20s.
Yeah.
What the hell,
It
babe?
feels good.
Why are you pretending you're older than you are?
Because then it feels good when I'm not, you know?
Oh, you're like, just kidding. I'm still 25.
Yeah, literally. The other day, I was talking to, I even slipped out because I told Marco, because I remember we were talking and I was like, I kind of do, I've never been into materialistic things or cars or anything like that, but I do love the social aspect of having a sports car because then you get to go to, it's called Cars and Coffee. Like a bunch of guys go in the morning and they drink coffee and they park all their cars and then they talk and you get to socialize and network and then you get to take your kids. It's at a different location every weekend. But anyways, I was like, I want to do that with Franco when they like see Porsches and Lamborghinis. I was like, so when I'm 30, I'm going to grind. And when I turn 30, I'm going to buy myself my first sports car. Primeramente Dios. Maybe if I still have that itch. If I don't, then perfectly fine. So then I told Marco, I was like, yeah, 4 more years. Or like, you know, whatever. And then I was like, oh, like, that was back in like when we had that, February? But it was like, oh, no, like 4 and so, like, I'm still not 26. But I thought I was 26. So.
And you're going to be 26 next month, babe. And also the week before that, you are running your second Boulder. Sheesh.
Damn.
His 6 miles, he's going to PR. Let's see what the heck he gets this time.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Well, I don't know if because you saw my mom was here. She wants me to with my dad.
Right.
And honestly, I was thinking, I was like, oh, I'll just sign them up and have my brothers run with my dad. But then I was like, no, because I'm going to regret it, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be able to say, like, me and my dad did something together. And then maybe the day after, the day before, I can, like, PR by myself, you know?
And see what you can get.
Like, yeah, like, in the neighborhood, I'll run the 6.2, like, with all my, you know, strength or whatever, and then enjoy that day with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because what's the point of, like, you know, in 10 years, I'm going to be like, oh, I got this time for what?
Yeah.
My dad could easily not be here next year or something could happen. It's like, man, I'd rather have that memory.
Yeah, and you have a lot more boulders to run too, so. And you have your marathon coming up too, so.
Yeah. So I'll see if he does want to do it, then I'll run it with him. If not, then you'll see me zooming by in Boulder.
All right, guys, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Sometimes it's hard to open up about what we're feeling. I feel like as a man and the leader of this household, I feel like I'm sometimes there for everyone, but who's there for me?
Yeah, babe. And we all have things that stress us out, and it's not healthy to keep them bottled up inside.
Therapy is a safe place to release that negativity and start working on things that are giving you a hard time. I love therapy because personally it gives me an outlet and someone that is unbiased to speak to that won't really judge me on what I'm feeling that specific moment.
And I love therapy because it feels like I have an unbiased best friend. So they're not really telling me things that I want to hear. They're telling me things as they are from an outsider's perspective. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/spillthebeans today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans. I swear to God, we are just so busy. I was just on a call and Jonathan had to watch Baby Girl while I was on a little work meeting. But yeah, that was why we took the break. Was there a little cringe vibes, you think?
Nah,
No?
I feel like a lot of podcasts take breaks.
I feel like, yeah, but it's kind of hard to like get back into it, don't you think? Like, where did we leave off? What were we talking about? Vibes.
Yeah.
But anyways.
What's new? Wait, I feel like we said we wanted to talk to them about something and completely forgot.
Oh, well, that's great. I think that it's like kind of weird being in the studio right now. Like, we're going to get used to it, obviously, but it's just kind of weird because we're so used to, ever since we started the podcast, it's always been at our house. Yeah. So we're kind of thrown off vibes right now.
Yeah, we can finally start inviting people, guys, inviting, you know, other influencers here in Colorado, people from out of state, because now we have somewhere official, not just our couch with all the toys that Franco throws on the ground. Yeah. But yeah, I like that we went with like a homie vibe because I don't know, something about like the professional is like,
I feel like that would make me even more nervous, you know, to talk to them. But basically, you guys know that we've always been like your besties in this podcast space. Like, it's never been like a professional setting, and that's kind of the podcast that I love too, is just when they're talking to each other like this, face to face, and just talking about their week, their day, you know. So I think that we can implement that too, babe, because usually when I watch Kristen and John's podcast, they're like, oh, like, what did you do this week, or what's new this week, you know. So
didn't we just do that?
Oh yeah, I did. We did just do that. But I'm saying like those conversations, you know.
Oh, okay.
When you're just talking to each other, because sometimes we don't have to just talk to the camera.
Yeah. How do you feel that you had your second Mother's Day and you're not even 26?
My third Mother's Day, honey bunch. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, but like two. Yeah, I said it wrong.
You think you're saying my Mother's Day with 2 kids?
Yeah.
Miles, how do I feel having 2 kids before I'm 26?
That's crazy.
It is crazy, because every time we talked about it, obviously we'd say, 30, but in my mind I was like 25 would be like a good age to have your first kid, you know.
I'm glad we started early.
Me too. I
now
feel
when
like
we're 30, we're gonna have, I can't do math, help me out. How old is Franco gonna be? It's 2 plus 4. 6?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I cannot. I'm gonna be so freaking sad.
Every time I talk, so the other day I was talking to my cousin. I saw her and she was like, oh, she's like, how are you doing, whatever. And I was like, yeah, 2 and done, like we have our little pair. And she's like, what are you talking about, you're so young, like you still have so, like, she's like, when you're 30 you can literally try for another one. And I'm like, girl, when I'm 30 I'm gonna be a Pilates princess mom, going to soccer practice, going to wherever Belen plays, you know? Yeah, like that's a phase where you just get to live with your kids, you know. And I don't think I should shut up before, because I have to stop talking, babe, but like basically like in my plans I'm like, imagine starting all over again when you're 30, which I feel like would be such a different take on motherhood, because we'll be we'll be older and we'll have much more experience, but also like the kids will be old. So I don't know, I don't know, I need to shut up before I'll start talking after Jonathan gets his vasectomy.
Yeah, babe, don't, because you never know.
Guys, Jonathan is funny, and tell me if your husband's like this too. He's like, one day he'll be like, no babe, like let's just have 10 more kids, and then the next he'll be like, oh babe, just schedule my vasectomy already, please. And I think that's just like the beauty of parenthood. Like one day it'll be so easy, and then one day like he'll wake up late and then he won't nap, and then, you know, and then you're like, oh shit.
But it's not regarding the kids.
I've
never been frustrated like, I'm getting a vasectomy, Franco's too much today.
No,
it's like me personally, like when I go on my runs, you know, I love that I'm working on myself and this and that, but I do feel bad, you know. I'm like, damn, like she has to stay by herself or this and that. Yeah. And I'm like, with kids, like I guess it's not the kids, it's just me being a little bit more selfish, but a good selfish.
Like how do you mean?
Because I want to be able to go to Franco's games, all of them. Obviously, someone has to take him, right? But not like, hold up, I'm feeding your other little brother a bottle while you just scored a goal, and then maybe he looks around, he looks at the stand, and I'm not paying attention. Oh, yeah. You know how sad that would be? Like, I want to be fully devoted in his like game and be like, dude, that on minute 30 you passed the ball and that shit was so good. And not like, ay, mi papá se tuvo que ir para allá porque
like when you have to make up that you did see the goal. Like, did you see me score that? You're like, oh yeah, it was so good, and you didn't actually. Yeah, I think that is hard. I feel like every time we talk about how many kids we want or having more kids, it's just like the time and like the quality of life that we want to give them. And I don't know, guys, it's just like kids are so beautiful and you love them so much that you want 10 more, but it's like, can you mentally handle that too? You know, not losing yourself and being a good quality parent to your kids too. I don't know.
But the other day I was thinking, I was like, damn, like we for real like got out of high school and had 2 kids, you know? I feel like I stress about little things, but the big things, like, oh, when you told me you were pregnant, yeah, it was like the emotion and the happiness, but I never like, it's just a kid.
Yeah.
You know? And then you were pregnant again. I was like, oh, it's going to be okay. It's just another kid.
Yeah.
And then the other day you were like scared about something at night, something very like intense. And I was like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't stress about big things like that. Whereas like we've talked to other friends and we're like, oh, you guys want kids and stuff like that. And then they're like, no. And they're very like terrified of having a child. And we're just like, and I'm just like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just a kid, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know where I lost my train of thought, where I was going with that. Oh, but yeah, I was just saying how like we were high school sweethearts and all of a sudden we have 2 kids, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I loved you the moment I met you, but I was.
Oh, was it love at first sight or what?
I've always like, well, yeah, but I've always been realistic, you know. So at the beginning, I honestly would think sometimes I'd be like, oh, it's okay. Like al cabo, we're probably not gonna end up together, you know.
You
Or
thought
very
that
early,
way?
no, like
Aw.
early, like
That's
months,
sadness.
weeks in, you know.
Really?
Because sometimes I would tell you something and I would be like a white lie about like, you know, stuff that I cringe about now. But it was like, oh, like
It's fine.
I
We're
don't
not
care.
gonna
Like
end
I'm
up
not gonna
together.
marry her.
Yeah.
Or most likely I'm not gonna marry her. It's not like I'm not gonna marry her. It's like most likely I'm not gonna marry her. Most likely we're not gonna be, you know, like
Yeah.
most likely, you know. And then come to find out, like we get married, like we're together still. And I was like, damn, like I remember that. I remember the exact moment I said that. It was when we were outside your house, the trailer, and remember I was like in your neighbor's house in front, and we were like in the back of a truck for some reason. Then you came. It's the same day que se me vino la idea. I was like, I don't know how old she is.
Why? What were
And
we
then
doing?
that's the day I found out you were born in August and I was older than you. I was like, oh my God, because everyone that I had ever met was always older than me. And I was like, damn, the day she finds out that younger than her, she's gonna like not like me anymore, because obviously, you know. But then
'Cause I
we
don't
were in the
date
back
young
of a
guys.
truck. I had just finished playing soccer for some reason. And I was and then you got there with Julia. You were somewhere else too. And then we just started talking like friends, and then I finally I snuck it in there like, oh, let's all say, not like, oh, let's all say how old we are. No,
Liked for
but
a
it was like I
dude.
am like, oh, like your birthday or something, and then August, and then I was like, oh shit, like I'm older than her. That's crazy. I thought she was gonna stop, because I swear, babe, when I met you, I thought you were like at least 2 years older than me. You know, the way you dressed, the way you
Jesus
just
Christ.
carried yourself. And then you were also friends with, because I had seen, obviously, when you meet someone, you stalk their Instagram, like you going to prom, like you getting invited,
right.
and then being friends with Daniela, my
Oh,
uncle's
yeah.
sister. So I was like, oh, she's way older than me, you know? Like,
that makes sense.
or like at least hangs out with older people. So I was like, damn.
Dang, she's cooler than
But
me.
anyways, going back, so I was like, yeah, like this isn't like for everything,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's how a lot of people think when they're in high school.
Most likely it's not.
Well, I think that's how guys think. Like for me, the moment I met you, I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to marry this guy.
Really?
Well, that's because I don't know. Like I was just infatuated with you
And
guys.
mine was coming from like a heartbroken place. Like, oh, it's not that I didn't.
Like you didn't want to
see
get
you.
heartbroken by?
Yeah, I was like, oh, why am I gonna start thinking of marriage or forever? And
If
then
we're gonna-
she could lose interest in me in a week or something.
Yeah. And for me, I was like, I'm going to marry this guy and I don't care if he doesn't like me anymore.
But now we have 2 whole ass kids, guys. That's crazy. Sometimes, what's that saying in Spanish, babe? Te cae el 100,
Se te cae el 20.
te cae el 20. And I was like, damn, like we have 2 kids. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it is crazy. And I know what you're saying. Like when you think about kids, you're like, oh, they're just kids. And then you have kids and you're like, I think that this hit me the same when I had, when we got Ozo the first time. And I know, bad comparison, but we got Ozo and I had never gotten a dog for myself, obviously, like the dog that I was going to grow up with. And I remember Ozo, when he was little, he would always have this freaking, what was it?
Ear infection?
No, the other infection.
Giardia?
Giardia, but what is it called? No, not a fungus. A bacterial infection. He
yeah.
always had this bacteria, and when he first got in, I took him to the vet.
From going to the lake.
Yeah, it hit me like me cayó el 20. I was like, he's gonna die one day. Like, why did I get a dog knowing that in a few years, well, not in a few, but in a lot of years, it's gonna break my heart that
Yeah.
he's gonna die. And that's like, for a moment there, and for probably a couple of weeks, I regretted getting him because of the heartbreak that I knew that it was gonna come. You know,
no, that's
so-
what the puppy blues are, right?
Yeah. So I think so. So then that's like with having kids, I was like, oh, they're just kids. Like it's just a kid. And then you have the kids, and like at the moment they start getting a little bit of a fever or they start feeling warm, I'm like, oh my God, my life is over. Like I hate when the kids are sick. Like that's the
Yeah.
worst thing. And today I just looked at my mom and I was like, I think the worst thing as a parent is when your kids are sick. Like when they get sick or when something is wrong with them or when like God forbid they fall and break their like ankle or something. I'm like your kid is an extension of you.
Yeah.
And whatever they feel, you probably feel it 10 times worse.
basically having 2 kids reduces the risk of heartbreak, if that makes sense. Like I was thinking, because obviously every parent's worst fear, and especially as someone that I struggle with anxiety, is sometimes I think about like, I'm gonna be straight up, like my kid's dying, like something happening in a car accident or something, and how that would literally break me. And it's like the less kids you have, the less risk, And if we just, obviously we can't return Belen or Franco, but if we just keep it at 2, then that reduces the chances of, like my mom, she has 5 kids. So if I go, let's just say it's 4th of July weekend, we're all 20. I mean, we're all at least 20. I go this way, my brother goes that way, my sister, this. So now you have
There's
5
5
kids
different-
on the highway
Oh,
going
no.
somewhere, or 5 kids at the club, or 5 kids at a house party instead of just 2. Like, do you see how like you increase your chances of something happening?
Yeah.
And therefore you going insane. And I feel like, I'm sorry if you have, like, I'm not trying to like give anyone like any like bad
Anxiety.
vibes or anxiety, but with 2, you just reduce that chance.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, now that I kind of put it that way, I psyched myself out and I'm fine, because something happening to my kids that's why we got this wooden table to knock on wood. But yeah, that's like, you reduce the chances.
Yeah. I don't know. Having kids is just crazy. Like now I respect people so much that like willingly tell me like I don't want kids, like I don't want to have kids, because I'm like, there's so many reasons why people don't want to have kids, and like the heartbreak being one of them, and just going through it. Like I hate TikTok because it just puts so many sad things on your For You page, and I'm like, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, like having kids really puts you through all of this. And although you're so strong in the moment, it's still so scary, that there's so many things that could go wrong, so many things that can happen, and so many things that you're not in control of. So yeah, guys, I don't know. Like those are kind of the main reasonings we've been talking about.
But anyways, going on like a positive vibe, because we don't want to like give that energy or at all like to you guys, because we know you're on your way to work and stuff. But yeah, babe, isn't it crazy that we're high school sweethearts?
High school sweethearts with 2 kids, a girl and a boy. We know what they look like. It's insane. It's a happy. I think that, I don't know, like everyone says that obviously like every stage they're on is hard, but when they get to like Franco's age and they start talking to you, I think it's just like, what the hell? Like we made this, like this kid that's talking to us.
Or sometimes I'll be chilling next to him and I'm like kudos to moms for like the baby in the stomach, but I'm like, ultimately, son, like you came out of me.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not trying to be like that, babe. I'm not trying to like take credit. I'm just saying, like, you were inside me.
Yeah, like you made that. Like when he's talking back to you, or like when he's telling you no, like I don't want to go to, or I don't want to take a shower. Like you're like, dang, like you came out of me, and that's what I always think about when he's being sassy with me. I'm like, oh my god, I created this boy.
Yeah.
It's just so, yeah, it's nice, guys. It's just like life. Like life isn't fair, and that's period. It's beautiful and it's hard in all the ways. So I think it's positive still. Like just thinking about your life and all the things that your parents have gone through too with you. Like it's funny that you literally grow into being your own parents.
You gotta like, fuck, babe, I need to drink my vitamins. I'll start talking and then I'll lose my anyways.
No, it's because I think you're overstimulated, honey.
Yeah, with
because
the noise.
There's so many things like going on
Yeah,
right
it's like
now.
a new environment.
Yeah, and it's scary.
I'll stare at that rug. I'll be saying something and then I look at the rug and then it takes me to home. Like my mind just time travels there, like to picking the rug out at Home Goods.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is that
now.
one time, like our time will be up, and I feel like, look, guys, I have this theory, right? Let me know what you guys, like ladies, think in the comments. With like, think about the relationship you're having with your kid, and then, or you want to have with your kid. Like, say you're not a mom yet, right? But you want to be like a really good mom, involved. They que te digan todo el chisme, que they believe in you and trust in you. Now think about the relationship you had with your mom or with your parents. And I have this theory, right, that when moms, the kids that have the best relationship with their parents are the parents that give up their life when theirs starts to begin. You know? So as like corny as it sounds, but like let's just go back to that example of the rich parents and how they're not always home and their kid is growing up and he's going to soccer games and the parents don't go to the games or they're not invested in his life. He becomes depressed and sad, you know, compared to where like the mom is just there all the time at all the games. Yeah, they're not as wealthy or stuff, but the kid potentially grows up with a better relationship or like happier because the mom was always there. She gave up, she stopped doing everything for her in a selfless way, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like the other day I was looking at Franco and I had just came back from doing something like important. No. It was he was helping put the groceries in the car yesterday from Sam's and I had just gotten back from running and we ran into each other. And I was like, one day, like, in order for me, I think, right? You guys comment down below what you think. I think I'm gonna have to one day give up my life and invest in his in order for him to be happy, you know? In order for us to have a great relationship. Like one day it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm still gonna do my marathons and my Ironmans hopefully one day and my own soccer. I want to be 50 still playing indoor, you know, or 40. But it will never top my son's schedule. Yeah. Because I want him to be happy. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, it's because I think that's why a lot of people talk about how you should, like the biggest piece of advice is to become a parent when you're like in your late 30s, you know, when you've already lived. Yeah, because you already lived what you wanted to live. You traveled, you partied, you got your best body, whatever you wanted. And then you have kids because you know that once I have kids, like my life is devoted to these children. And that's why there's so many unhappy kids because you like there's people that have kids when they're still wanting to party, when they're still wanting to like get their careers and they can't be with them 24/7. So like kids are a blessing, period. But it is true, like usually the parents that have the best relationships with the kids is when they knowingly and willingly gave up their life and their dreams to invest in their kids, you know, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, you are going to get a career, but like when you are whatever, a lawyer, and then your kid is a teenager, who's gonna be like, are you guys still gonna be happy? Like, are you gonna be happy because you can't even get along with your teenager, but like, is it worth it, basically? Vibes, you know? And I don't necessarily think that you have to give up everything. Like there's times where when they go to sleep you can still go work out, you know. It's just not like you have to give up your schedule for them and just do whatever you want in the back end. And I think that's where a lot of people start losing themselves too, because it's like, oh, it's 8 p.m, it's bedtime, do I want to go run or do I want to go to sleep because I have to wake up tomorrow, you know? It's like kind of those things. So it's like a lot of leisure. Like for you gave up your video games and period. And for me, you know what I was thinking the other day, babe? Well, actually yesterday, it was my first day. When the kids go to sleep, well, when Franco goes to sleep, because Belen sleeps a lot, I'm like, okay, I have like 2 hours at least to be on TikTok, to catch up on YouTube videos, to do whatever I want. I want to start watching like a bunch of movies. And then yesterday it just clicked. Like I was like, what could be on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, that is so important? Like there's nothing that can be in there that is more important than my kids. So like yesterday when we got home from here, yeah, you dropped me off and then you came back, right? I was like, I'm just not gonna go on my phone. So I didn't go on my phone like for Instagram or TikTok or any of that. I was just present with Franco, even though he was independently playing. Every time he would like turn back to me while he was playing, I was just staring at him and he would like smile at me, and I was just watching him. Like I was just being like present in the moment. And then that's how it was all day. And then last night I was like, you know how I like lay down and then I go on TikTok? I just want to sleep with Belen. I didn't even blow dry my hair. That's why I look so shitty today. Like I didn't, you know how I always blow dry my hair? I didn't blow dry my hair. I was like, I'm just going to lay here and go to sleep with her. So that in the morning, because I know like the morning I should be waking up. So yeah, I went to sleep. I woke up. She woke up twice. She woke up at 4 and 6. And then when Franco woke up, because you left the camera, he didn't wake up till 8, like on the dot, 8 a.m. I got him up and then I brushed his teeth and we both went downstairs and I cooked him breakfast and I was like well rested. You know, and I was like, and I didn't feel like I missed out on anything, because I'm like, if anything, if I open my phone right now and I scroll, the same TikToks are going to be there from last night. So yeah, like I was like, it's not like giving it up fully, but it's like, if it's not more important than my kids, like why would I do it? You know?
Yeah, I think it's like, it's a very hard thing that I feel like a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, and they're, I know what some of you guys are thinking, like, that's so selfish, Jonathan. What do you mean that I should just stop doing everything I like for my kids? But I if I ever want to go back to school, guys, and get my PhD or become like get my doctorate, and you know how you have to write thesis and like write like big books on your thesis and stuff. I think mine would be that. And I've told Blanca before, I feel like entrepreneurial, successful parents that want stuff, that strive for more in their life after having kids, they just have, I've noticed too many instances. I can name 10 people right now that just don't have, you know, where that great of a relationship. Whereas the parents that just, yes, because maybe they're lower income or maybe they didn't strive to have their own business, et cetera, whatever the reason might be, just are fully devoted to their kids. They just happen to have the best relationship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like you can tell the ones because they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go hang out with my mom, or I'm going to go do this with my mom. Yeah. And you're like, oh,
it's
shit.
Just the way they
like,
talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's like more. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not saying that one is the better. Like, oh yeah, your parents should. No. I'm saying as me as a dad, I'm gonna strive to find a balance. Yeah. But I'm willing to sacrifice if there's no balance, because sometimes in the movies, you know, when the drama hits and it's like it's inevitable. Like I'm willing to sacrifice it. Yeah. You know.
That's true.
If time comes. But if you can balance, like, please, also ladies that have both, like, hey, yeah, my parents had this and that going for them, but I still felt very present. Like, let us know, because for other parents as well, listen to, like, what did they do to make you feel heard, loved? Because, yeah, your parent can own a business and everything and then check up on you at the end of the day and be like, hey, how was school? How's your friend? How's this? But then check out right away, you know? How do your parents make you feel truly heard and loved? Yeah. Regardless.
I guess what I want to hear in the comments is if you have a good relationship and a good connection with your parents, tell us the backstory. Like, why do you have, or why do you think, like, based on the explanations that we just gave, why do you think that you do? And if you don't have a good connection, based on what we just said, tell us why you think now that you don't have a good connection with them. Because for Mother's Day and Father's Day, like, you always get those comments like, I wish I had this relationship with my mom. So it's like, tell us why not, you know? Like, it's that TikTok. It's like, normalize telling us why you broke up. Like,
because you always hear like, I see a lot of people, babe, in our comments, there's like, or our emails for advice are like, my mom is such a narcissist, or my dad is, and that narcissism is when you focus only on yourself. Mm-hmm. So say, you know, my mom sale los fines de semana a los bailes y pues me deja sola con mis hermanas, or stuff like that, you know? So it's like, so then that's damaging because you're not longer the priority of your mom, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so normalize telling us why you don't have a good relationship with your parents, because we want to know. We want to know because, you know, we just want to take all the information we can to be the best parents that we can to our kids.
And to, like, help other people, you know?
Yeah. Help us by helping others. Thank you. Blanca J 2024.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in yet another podcast. Hopefully the studio will go. I'm not gonna promise anything anymore, like, it will be done next week. No, we'll be adding as we go. You know, we'll shop here and there. We might go to the flea market this weekend to buy some fruit. Maybe I see something that I like there, like a cool tiger poster. Just kidding. Blanca would never let me. But we have the rug right there. I don't know if you saw that. I briefly mentioned that. So a rug will go in here, even though you most likely cannot see it.
It's for the vibes.
For the vibes. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great week and that you have a good weekend leading in. Everything's getting warmer out, so I hope everyone's, you know, doing outdoor activities like we will be. And yeah, without further ado, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, later.
Yay Networks.